Hey everybody, it's Brad from Johnson Small Engines, better known as a one-hand mechanic. If I can do it, you can too. Today we are working on a Craftsman T140, and I'm going to show you, in my opinion, on how to get the mower deck as level as we possibly can get it. This is a MTD product, and this machine has been around forever as far as the design goes, so there's not a lot of adjusting that we can do. Let's go ahead and look at some tools that we need today. Okay, from left to right. A very long extension. I'm going to use a 1/2-inch drive because sometimes the bolts can be pretty tight. 1/2-inch socket. I did not mark this, but this is a 3/4-inch socket. 1 1/4-inch socket. 2 3/4-inch wrenches. Some of you guys out there with the different styles may have 11/16 may be needed, but this one here is 2 3/4-inch wrenches needed. Now this is my adjuster. I'll put a link in the description below if you want to purchase one. Just so I show you here, it shows the deck height right here, and then this part right here will go on the tip of the blade, and you just have to be careful that you're getting this on the tip of the blade so you get the correct reading. So let's get started. Okay, so on the left side of the machine, left side of the mower deck, I just want to show you the only adjustment we have for the left to side is this right here. It's a 1/2-inch socket that you use on there, and then this outer one is what you raise the mower deck up and down. That's 1 1/4 inch. All right, the other side does not have any adjustment. Let's look at that real quick. This is the other side. Okay, there is no adjustment. All right, this is the right side of the machine, so that's not good. Now let's go to the front. Okay, so we have 2 nuts here. One's a locking nut and one is just the adjuster. And these can be a bear to get off sometimes, the outer one, just to get it loosened up so we can adjust the inner one. You want to loosen up the outer one and tighten the inner one, and that's going to bring the front end up. So the first thing we want to do when we start to adjust the mower deck is you want to make sure your tire pressure is all even. If you look at the sidewall of your tires, it'll give you your maximum rated PSI that it can use right here. It says inflate to 14 PSI max. All right, so each tire will have it. Now, I typically tend to go 2 pounds higher on the front because it puts a little less stress on your front suspension. But just make sure they're even. So first thing you do is you check your tire pressure. Next thing you want to do is just pick up your side discharge chute and look. Now this one I know 100%. We have the blades, when you go in between, all the way under, it's going to be a little hard to see, but you want to make sure that your blades, all the way in center, are even. Okay, if you put brand new blades on and they're not even in the center, then you have a different problem, and I'll put a link in the description below on how to straighten your mower deck. If you put brand new blades on and it still cuts really bad in the center, that's probably because you have a bent mower deck. But right now, all we're doing is going to do the deck level. We'll start on this side because it's easy to show you how to use the tool that we're going to use. Okay, so this tool is designed to go underneath the lip of the, you don't want to hit the lip with your arm here, but that's why it's designed like this. So you put your mower deck down to where you're comfortable, using the gauge, and you're just going to put the tip here on the tip of the blade, and that's going to give you your height of the blade. And then what I normally do is I'll just put my thumb on this right here so it doesn't move and try to get it out. I'm reading it right now. We're about 2 3/8 on the height, and then we're going to go around to the other side, and you're going to make sure your blade is straight across in the center of your mower deck, straight across, because that's where you're going to check side to side. And we're going to put it underneath, and you're just trying to touch the tip of the blade. You don't want this to, and it's designed, it won't hit the mower deck if you're doing it correctly. And we are just about perfect, 2 3/8. Okay, so the side to side is good, but I want to show you how to adjust it. Now, this is how you adjust side to side. So you're going to have to go, the measurement's going to have to be taken from the right side of the machine, and if this side is off, we have to adjust this side to the other side. Now, obviously, when you raise and lower this, it'll also raise and lower the other side. So you have to make sure that you're checking both sides when you do this. Don't just assume that the other side is going to stay still, because it will not. So to loosen this up, we're going to use a 1/2-inch socket and a very large extension. And this may take sometimes these are really tight. All right, and you just want to loosen it. You don't want to loosen it too much. We just want to loosen it enough that we can, if you can see in there, they have little teeth in there. So we want to switch your socket. And to raise it, this is 1 1/4 inches. You're going to turn it clockwise, and that will raise the mower deck up. All right, so you got to loosen this up a little bit more. You don't want it too loose that it's going to slide up and down on its own. I'm going to go up. Now that raised it counterclockwise, that lowers it. All right, now once you check your deck again, now obviously I just got all out of whack now, so we're going to have to figure this out again. You're going to check this. Now we're at a little over 2.5. I'm going to go out and check the other side. I'll be right back. And then once you have both sides perfect, then you want to tighten this 1/2 inch in the center as tight as you can get it. And the reason why I say as tight as you can get it, I've seen a lot of these get loose, or when you hit something in your yard, it jolts it, and that big adjustment will actually go out of whack. So I definitely recommend using like 1/2 inch ratchet, and when you tighten this, make sure you get it really tight. Okay, so side to side is good. Now we're going to do front to back. Now, front to back, we'll go on the other side because the chute side that you can open up, it's much easier to see it. Okay, so I bungee this out of the way. Okay, so front to back, and I know as a fact this front to back is way low just by looking at the front of the mower deck. You can do it all from this side. You want the front tip, and you want to make sure the blade is straight forward front to back. Now we're sitting here at about 2 1/4 right here, and then we're going to go back to the back and measure the back tip, and I can already tell it's like way off. Now you can do a perfectly level deck, or what I think textbook is up to 1/4 inch down in the front. It's really hard sometimes to get this out of here, but let's see what it says here. Okay, so we were at 2 1/4. Wow, that's probably a good 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch off. All right, so we were really low in the front, and you can tell by looking at it at the mower deck. But you can come back here, and you can also do it. I'm doing through the back of the mower deck here. Nothing's hitting. You make sure you're not hitting on the bottom of your mower deck, which this is designed not to do. Okay, so we're almost 2 3/4 right here. And then we come back up to the front again. And we're about 2 1/4 there. So we're way off. All right, so we want to come up in the front. Now, what I was saying about front to back is that you can be up to 1/4 inch down in the front and you're okay. I like to have it maybe about an 1/8 inch down in the front. And granted, you do have to worry about what you're leveling your deck on. If you're doing it on concrete, I 100% know that concrete is not 100% flat. So this is kind of like it'll get you in a very good range of where it is. And like I said, if you have problems underneath with your blades not coming across evenly, that has nothing to do with leveling the deck. That's a different problem. So we're gonna go ahead and adjust the front end up a lot. So we're gonna go up to the front here. Now you have an inner nut right here, and you have an outer nut, and then you have to loosen up the outer one just enough. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, this was really tight on this one. I used a 3/4 inch sock to get it loosened up, and I just don't want to be struggling while you guys are watching this, but you want to make sure you get that loosen up a little bit, and then you just tighten the inner one, and you have to be careful that you're not tightening up the outer one with it, because you want to get the adjustment up. Now, if you look real closely down here, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see the deck moving up. But it is moving up a lot. And I know we were way out of adjustment, so I'm bringing it up a lot. So let's go ahead and check the front to back again. Okay, so we're right at 2 1/2 there. And it's really hard to get the back sometimes, but you want to make sure that you get the back of the blade right at the tip of the back. Okay, so now we're pretty much 2 3/4 there. And so we're about a 1/4 inch right now. Let me go check the front one more time. Yeah, so we're at 2.5 there, and then we were at 2 3/4 there. So yeah, so we're okay, but I want to go ahead now. Before I adjust it up a little bit more, what you want to do here now is you want to try to raise your mower deck up. If you ever get to if you raise it too much in the front, you can actually have a problem getting the deck to actually get up into the highest position. If you ever come across you're leveling your mower deck and you can't get it all the way up into the top hole, you went too far on the front. I have come across that where I over adjusted the front and I couldn't get it high enough. So I'm going to go ahead and just raise that up a little bit, and we'll come back and we'll check it real fast. Okay, I just raised it up a couple more turns. Let's see where we're at. Okay, so now we're a little more than 2.5 right there, and then we're gonna go back here. And yeah, so now the back is still about 2 3/4. So we are within, I have to say, within 1/8. So I would say that's really good. Now we have to make sure we tighten up. Just gonna hold the inner nut, turn the outer nut until it comes in contact with the inner nut. We definitely adjusted that front end up a lot. And definitely double check to make sure that you can get your mower deck all the way up in the highest position. All right, lock them in. I wouldn't go too crazy. They usually don't move. Okay, now just go out and test drive it. If you're getting a bad cut in the center of your mower deck after you adjusted your mower deck, then you definitely have blade issues in the center of the mower deck, which means you either have bent blades or you have a bent deck. So that pretty much sums it up for how to adjust your mower deck on the T140. This is a MTD machine. This is the old school. They haven't changed this design in a very long time. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe, share my channel with your friends, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.